Hey guys, welcome back to Modelbear Studio. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I have a special episode for you today. It's been a year since we started this channel, and at the time, our little studio had plenty of room to spare. But as time went by, and more kids came in, month after month, there was less and less room. Things were moved around, and expansions were made, until they took over the whole room, and now, even the room is starting to not be enough. So I decided to get creative and make a shelf to easily fit more kids, and make space. This also gave me a reason to play around with my 3D printer. Initially, I had my paints stacked over each other, but I wanted them to look better and also be more easily accessible. So I was fortunate to find these display bases. They are cheap, transparent, and they can be neatly stacked on top of each other. The majority of the paints easily fit with plenty of room to spare. But then there are those that don't, like these Vallejo paints, because of their height. So I decided to design and print some extensions that would allow taller paints to fit in. In the end, once printed, they can easily snap into place and hold their position. What I like about this is that it makes my displays modular, and the extensions can be added when needed. Now we have more room for taller paints and other items. And after printing countless of extensions, these are the results. All paints are lined up and neatly organized. This is where things went from wow, I did that, to let's see what else we can do. So I got back in, took some measurements, and started modeling some joints to make a bigger shelf. And back to the printer. This was my first version. Not everything lines up exactly, like this top area, as well as the sides, but it does have this support piece right here. The front angle is this one beam attaches to this side, and another to this side, then another underneath. That way we can extend it to the sides even further, or it can also be a corner as well when we no longer want to extend. Lastly, we have this back attachment to extend back. My goal was to make this joint as modular as I could. Also, I printed this leg adapter to give it more stability and to also make it look better. Here's where I decided to place the shelf on. Got some wood sheets for the base, and also this gives the foundation more room. The idea is to extend the shelf from side to side and all the way to the top. Here's our first fitting, seeing how everything is coming together. Got our supports here, and the middle beam connections are looking good. This one attaches back here. Here's where I realized that this piece needs an opening at the top, so we can extend it upward. But these won't go to waste, since we can just use them at the very top. Back to the model to make those adjustments, printing them along with some more pieces. It's always so satisfying removing supports from 3D prints. That sound is almost music to my ears. Here's our second revision. Everything is the same, with just the top now as an extension. Maybe I should have extended these two sides as well, to make them all look more even. Now let's give it a try, and connect all four sides. And lastly, the back side. Here's our revised joint in action, fully modular. I will definitely extend these sides to be longer, since it does feel a little bit wobbly. It'll add strength and overall look more balanced. Here's our new version with those longer sides. I added 5mm on each side. Let's compare it to our previous version. This gives it more stability. I am happy with this version, so now I will start mass printing the rest of the joints that we'll need. These do take a while though, but there's no rush, so it's all good. Progress so far, with some small adjustments that needed to be made here and there, like these supports here that need some extra extensions to go all the way down. This one will need to be cut here, so I can extend it back, and it'll give us room here. I am thinking of converting this corner into a bookshelf. This is a mess, but it is looking better and better. Added these wood planks between the floors. As you can see, we can fit 3 floors. Let's remove the kits and finish the rest of the build. Here's the finished skeleton. And all the joints put together actually do add a lot of strength to this structure. In the end, we can even add these smaller extensions to make some balconies, and that'll give us more room to place things on. All complete, and I am quite happy with it. The center area I am thinking of using as a display space. Some planks are placed here that we can use to display some kits on. The bottom area underneath these planks could be used for other kits or maybe even materials. This looks ready. We can start putting some kits in here. Are you ready? This is gorgeous. Looks better, holds multiple kits without them crushing each other. It is pleasant to look at, and I have more room. Now, let's rearrange this and make it look better. Let's look at it as it was intended to be. What a difference something like this makes. I am very happy with the end results. Maybe later on, I can add some color and even some LEDs. Our centerpiece, with all of the G-Quox kits we built since the channel started, even with this much space, it is already packed. Did we stop here? Not at all. Using the same joints, we also made this smaller 3-tier shelf that sits behind the resin printer and washing station. I am also using this for my resins, gloves, masks, and other materials, as well as placing some of the kits here. It is time to fully reveal our studio. Welcome to Modelverse Studio. This is where all the magic happens and where I spend the majority of my time. Here's the resin 3D printer, along with the washing, curing station, the vacuum for the spray boot. Behind that is our new 3-tier shelf with a couple of kits. On the bottom levels, I keep the resin materials, tapes, our mask is back there. On top of that is where I keep all the smaller kits, some SDEX kits, Integrate kits, Pokemon kits, among others. While still on this area, on the bottom of the desk, we have more kits. All these are HGs. Except for the perfect grade new Gundam that's there, along with the third-party Castraya. On the right of that is our homemade spray boot. It is already somewhat falling apart, but it is still pretty sturdy though. Hasn't failed me yet, and it does work quite well. Sitting on top of that are some Gundam base kits. The weight is an issue, so I do have this idea of building some supports around it, but that'll be in the future. Our little compressor next to it, holding our 2 air brushes. On the back, I have some 3D printed pieces for the ventilation. The hose connects to it, then wraps around to the vacuum that has another hose that leads to the outside. Even with a system like this, always make sure to wear a mask for extra protection. On the right of that is our first paint station. This is where I keep all of my lacquer paints. A couple of things I printed, mostly keycaps. Here's my Gaia collection. I love these paints. Mr. Weathering and other solvents. The midsection is where I keep all the Mr. Color paints, along with surfacers, Tamiya enamels, and panel liners. There's even some extra space for feature paints. At the very top, there are some bottles to store mixed paints in. This area has some temporary supports, more mixed paint bottles, empty bottles, spray paints, and coatings. Across from this is where we have our new main big shelf, fully decorated and nicely organized with a couple of kits. This was a big project, and it took a couple of days. Requires no glue, so I can always move it around. I am very happy with the results. The centerpiece can always change, so I will put more effort into making this into a diorama piece. The bookshelf corner. This one still needs work, and I am planning on making this one go all the way to the top. On this side is where I keep all of the oversized boxes, like these HGs, master grades. Here's our perfect grade section. Down here are the 148 scale ones. Next to our main shelf is our second paint station, other printing joints for another project I'm working on, couple of Daiso acrylics, which are actually pretty good, brushes, markers, got all these drawers to keep other materials, like epoxies, sticky pads, batteries, sculpting tools, LEDs, masking tape, and a bunch of other things that would fit in. This is where I keep all of the acrylic paints, some Liquitech basic acrylics, Vallejo paints, war paints. At the very top are glues, diorama materials, and other miscellaneous things. We got some masking tape, glues. Further up here are some resin paints, weathering pencils, and my Warhammer kit. Continuing along with the perfect grades, They are aligned with other big boxes. I try to keep all the Bearcock kits on this section with other master grades. More master grades on this side with some full mechanics. This is the center shelf. I want to do something very special on this top area. I don't want to yet reveal what that is, but this is already hint enough. Even more master grades down here. Another oversized box. Want to get this one open soon. Other materials. This is the RG corner. It's where I keep all the RGs neatly organized. I have already collected all of the base RGs. There's a couple Gundam base and pre-owned Bandai ones. I'm always on the lookout for new ones as well. For now, temporarily, I am keeping the 30MF kits here. These are the ones I have, and I am getting into them, so eventually I'll have to make some space for them later. By the doorway is where I'm keeping all the smaller and miscellaneous kits. My BB collection is here, some entry grades, some no grades, bases. My optional part kits are kept here as well. Some SD CS kits, which I want to get more of, but I rarely do see them. Up here is where I have the Gundam artifact boxes, card game starters, dino kits, and miscellaneous kits. Speaking of miscellaneous kits, all those are kept on this top closet area. Godzilla kits, Back to the Future, Alice, Dragon Ball, B-Duck is right here. On this side, we got more Godzilla kits, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Thunderjaw. Underneath here is where I keep all other materials, tools, and boxes of things that still need organizing. Upper floor is our FDM printer. This is the Elegoo Neptune 4 Plus, a very good printer. Couple of filaments are back here, along with more random stuff. And there you go, guys. That is my studio. Even with all these upgrades, it still looks like I am running out of space. As always, thank you for being here, and hopefully you enjoyed this little tour as much as I did. Did you happen to see any kits that you want to see built in the future? Do let me know. While you're at it, comment and subscribe. Until then, have a nice day, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.